Hey guys, it's time for some Tutris, and I've been living in Japan now for over 3 years, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about how everything has just changed so drastically for me. So I'll just kind of get to the chase here. So when I lived in America, one of the things that was constantly on my mind was politics, and um, I think something that you learn when you get to a country like this, where people just don't really talk about it that much, it really is like a dream come true because you can kind of have disagreements with people when politics do come up, and maybe somebody will tell you that they're supporting some, you know, conservative prime minister or some candidate in the next election, and either you or the other person, if they have a disagreement, you're like, okay, well, that's what you think, and we're still friends, and it doesn't really matter that much because it's just not really that important anyway. Friendship is key, and the thing about living here is, yeah, now that it's been 3 years, I haven't really had like a conversation about Donald Trump. I haven't had a conversation about Joe Biden or wokeness really with anybody, other than like on the internet with people back at home. And while I still care, of course, because I mean to a certain degree, like it's in me. I'm American. Um, I don't really like have any desire to go back. The thing about the Japanese way of life is like harmony. And I don't understand Japan perfectly. There are all these people on the internet who are like gonna tell you that Japan is like this one thing, and that you're gonna come here and you're gonna see it exactly as they do. I think that coming here is a different experience for everyone, but for me, it's been seeing the harmony and that people just kind of know how to get along with each other, even when they're not like. Even when they don't really see eye to eye. And like as us Americans who are always duking it out in conversations and yelling at each other, criticizing each other, it's just like it's really nice. And I've kind of noticed like a theme in some of my other videos where I'm always like, oh, I'm tired of the internet and I can't deal with it anymore. And it's true because like on in the English internet, it's pretty vile, and I guess you could still find parts of the Japanese internet that are also pretty full of like vitriol, but it's not really something that I think of it anymore. And instead, I'm just like, okay, it's not just the politics, right? The way of life here, the way of life in Japan is also quite different. So in the United States, if you want to eat something, right? Um, Interestingly enough, like my dad sent me like a package the other day from the States with like some food. It had macaroni and cheese, like a bag of Doritos, some Twix, and some Captain Crunch in it, because like I wanted to have like the slop for a while. Why not? Because it was I hadn't had it in a long time. But for the most part in Japan, they have with these what's known as a kombini, and a kombini is like short for convenience store. And the way that the Japanese say it, when they shorten it in their language, is kombini. And at a kombini, you can buy pretty much like anything that you would want in like a quick fix, without going to McDonald's. Like they have these little things called bentos, or like lunch boxes, literally translated into English, where you can get curry and rice, fried chicken and rice, or like fresh salmon. Well, not fresh salmon, but like salmon that's at least fresher than what you would probably find at like a Walmart, if it were prepackaged. And then maybe get yourself some rice balls and a package of nuts, maybe a beer, whatever really is fitting your fancy. And it's you don't really have that in the States. Like when I was hungry back home, like even when I was living in Rhode Island back in college, I would have to go down to Walgreens when I was hungry. And what would I get? I'd get like a I would get like a jar of peanut butter and some milk or something, and just eat straight with a spoon because the grocery store was too far and I didn't have a car. And here in Japan, like I could walk 3 or 4 minutes from my house and get like not necessarily the most nutritious meal ever, but like comparatively speaking, if I don't want to cook, I can eat pretty well for about like 800 yen, which is the equivalent of $5 over in the States. So like already like the convenience is it's pretty nice. And then if you go into the cost of living here, everyone will always give you shit for the Japanese economy. An economist will tell you that you're somebody who you're a moron for living here because it's not it's a an aging population, and that the Japanese are xenophobic, or take your pick. I mean, I really don't care too much about that, but the economic factor, as much as I do just being able to live comfortably. And one of the things is you can have like a pretty standard job here, and still live a normal life. Like, it's not just like the Komini. You can get yourself like this apartment that I'm in right now, which is pretty modest in like USD. I think it would cost me something like give or take $300 a month. Like, I'm serious. Like this place probably like not even 280. If we're being completely fair here, yeah, probably more like $280. Whereas in the United States, if I were in Boston, like, this place would probably cost me at least $1,000, Chicago, Milwaukee, maybe like 900, 800. I'm guesstimating here on the top of my head. But the idea is, like, Japanese life is that it's not like glamorous or anything, but I think because you're just so much more comfortable with your living expenses here, you don't really think about how pissed off you are quite as much, at least not in my own case. So, I'm not really thinking about, politicians quite as much. And it's not that you don't have to think about politicians. Intellectuals exist in every part of the world as much as idiots exist in every part of the world. But I like that, that's not a problem. I like that I can eat really comfortably. I also like that, if you... even if you don't have like the most high-paying job, you can get a good place to stay, and it's just brilliant. Not to mention, like, the Japanese people themselves are relatively nice. I would say that they're overall a lot nicer than even some Americans I know. Give or take, maybe like some parts of like rural Wisconsin or rural like Texas or something. I don't know. I've actually heard that rural Texas is rough for outsiders, but with the Japanese, if you're like an American dude. I guess, like, sadly, if you're a white American dude and you speak a little bit of Japanese, they're like, oh, okay, well, thank you for learning the culture. Thank you. Like, we appreciate you. Not everyone's going to accept you by virtue of being like a foreigner. But I don't really notice like a lot of tension with them. My friend Lane actually said it really succinctly at this one time. It's like, we have our world and we're gonna do our thing, and then you foreign guys, maybe you'll do your thing, and then every once in a while we'll have like an interaction between the two of us where we have fun, we get along. I don't know, but. The whole idea is that it's really chill here. A lot of people like to sensationalize Japan. What is happening to Japan? What is happening with like with the tourists? And I think that the last thing I will say before I'll end the video today is that with tourists in particular, having lived here for 3 years, there are some things about this culture that you just start to intuitively get. Like, don't cause trouble in public, keep your head down, and don't be a jerk to people that you don't know. Like, if I'm in a store and like, somebody's coming my way, I'm going to like walk I'm going to walk away from them so that I don't obstruct their trajectory. Whereas in the States, you'd be like, hey, dude, can you move? Like, you have to eventually say something. The thing with the tourists here that kind of bothers the Japanese, and honestly, like, sometimes I'm not going to say it bothers me because I get it. I'm not Japanese. I'm just used to living here. Is you're in American mode and you come to Japan and like it's hard to really integrate yourself here in 1 week or 2 weeks. You're completely ignorant to the culture, and when you are ignorant to the culture of Japan and you have like not even a single clue of how it works here, then like you can start running into issues. And Japanese people they I forgot what I was trying to say exactly, but if you live here and you try to like, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If you try to like take a mentality and an attitude where you don't bother these people and you mimic the way that they live their lives, at least in public, things go pretty smoothly. And yeah, I would say that if you don't like the States and you have a college degree and you actually seriously think that you could do like some kind of English teaching job in the beginning and then kind of like build your life either in like programming or like entrepreneurial endeavors or something creative, like yeah, Yeah, honestly, totally worth it. Way better than working some Starbucks job in some like, industrial American city. Like I honestly have like nothing. I haven't missed home like once. I'll be completely honest with you guys. Like I'm every time I think about going back to Wisconsin, um, I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. I mean, I'd love to say hi to mom and pops and like a couple of the people that I love. Like, I know that some people, who I've known for all my life probably watch my channel. Like, oh, how's Tantris doing? I love those people. But like Milwaukee proper, does not really offer a lot to me. And if you're feeling that way, I just want to say, like, moving abroad, moving to a different culture that, prioritizes harmony, and you're ready to, like, make the effort, learn the language, and, go gung ho. There are a lot of pros to it. And I think that I'd like to recommend it, especially if you like my channel. If you're like, someone who would vibe with me, I think you would vibe with Japan. Otherwise, that's about all. So peace out and cheers. Scrutly Mudley.